Okay, Tier 2. Now that my first round racing dollar upgrades are done, let's get going on the round 2 of upgrades. Once again, racing dollars all across the board, but this time it's gonna take 1 day. So it'll take twice as long as the first tier. And once these upgrades are done, should bring my PR up to 78.2, as we looked at it earlier in my overview video. So next category, exhaust. I'll get that going, and then the other two, brakes, get that going as well. And finally, tires and wheels. Come on. So, all right. So that's gonna. They got started. So it's gonna take a day, depending on how many ads I decide to watch. Right. So starting on this tier 2 with head-to-head Silverstone International Circuit, single lapper. And I realized that we've actually had a limited time series for Veneno a couple of years ago, 2017. And back then, I actually have yeah, you guessed it, I do have a playlist of my run through that series from a couple of years ago. If you look up Veneno Championship, you'll find it. And that was a long format back in the day. So that was 22 tier limited time series. PR requirement was slightly lower. I mean slightly as in this one obviously requires 83. Last rendition, the PR requirement was 82.5. So I meant slightly. It's 0.5 PR points less last time. So in terms of the cost difference compared to last limited time series versus this time, they had slightly less reward as well. I think the reward was 80 gold total for 22 tiers. That's a lot of race. So I definitely prefer 15 tiers for these limited time series. And this time, as I said, the 0.5 PR difference on this car ends up costing some 240 more gold this time. And yes, we get 20 more gold for rewards, but you know, it is 240 more that we're gonna need this time if you don't own the car and want to win it. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on here. And let's see, speed snap, right? And okay, so it's at taking place at the very end of that main straight. For Grand Prix circuit, I can never keep track of where these events happen at Dubai. But pretty easy goal, as you might expect. And of course, I kind of had to wait on the first round of upgrades to be done in order to complete. I could have obviously gotten the first two events done without the upgrades, but the cup race that I am about to head in here at Melbourne has PR requirement of 72.4, which of course is higher than the stock. So I needed to get those first tier upgrades done. So here we are. Another single lapper, not a terribly long circuit, Melbourne. So should be a pretty quick race here. Here we go. And as I was saying in earlier, the first tier video, such a large car, and Melbourne city circuit being pretty narrow for a lot of the corners here. I guess in corners it does open up a bit more, but the beginning there's almost like a choke point that the traffic kind of backs up, so you gotta make sure you don't get stuck behind the traffic if you can kind of maneuver your way right out of the traffic jam. Then it does open up and you'll find yourself in a better position. So the beginning part of the race at Melbourne, very important, perhaps plays a bigger role than some other more wide open tracks. Anyway, just a tiny bit over a minute 9 seconds, so 69 seconds to wrap up tier 2 of this limited time series, keeping the margin of victory nice and tight, keeping it under a second. I figure is good enough, and still with the car in green. Alright, unlocks tier 3, and with these upgrades we should at least be able to make our way through next tier and possibly more. So continuing on.